So maybe this has happened to you. You think you're prepared for an election, you've watched the debates, you've read up on the questions or whatever, you go to the polling place, you sign in, and you get your ballot, and then you're standing there with a marker in your hand, and suddenly you realize there are things on the ballot you had no idea were going to be there, and you're not really sure what to do about them, and you're stuck trying to figure it out at the very last minute. So what we're trying to do here today is give you a better idea of exactly what's going to be on the ballot before you get one and take it into the voting booth and have to mark it. Unless you've been living in a cave for the last 3 or 4 months, you probably know who's running for governor, so we're not going to concentrate on that race. But there are other races on the ballot which most people are a little bit more confused about, so we're going to go into a little more depth about those. What we are going to do is show you who's running for each office and give you an opportunity over the next day or two to look on the internet and look at other materials you might have available to help inform yourself before you get into the voting booth. One resource, of course, is candidates' websites. Another is endorsements from other publications. And perhaps you have a copy of the booklet sent to you by the Secretary of State on the 3 statewide ballot questions. If you don't have one, you lost it or it didn't come, you can go to the Robbins Library and they have copies there for you to look at.
On the left-hand column, your first column, is all the statewide offices. So both the governor and lieutenant governor you will vote for together as a slate. Then we have the attorney general, the secretary of state, the auditor, and the treasurer. All of those statewide. Straightforward. Then we have from the federal level our U.S. House of Representatives. So we have 1 vote for 1 congressman or woman. Then we have the Governor's Council, which just says on the ballot, counselor. Statewide position, but we vote for regionally. After that we have state senator, state representative, so our version of Congress. Then we have the DA, the district attorney. We also have sheriff, county level. Everyone statewide is voting for questions 1, 2, and 3. Then Arlington gets an additional question on 4 on liquor licenses. And then folks who live in the 23rd district, Middlesex district, get 1 more question just on a policy.
So one of the things that happens when I get in there is I see this counselor, which is actually the governor's council, as you said, and I don't really know what they do. Can you give me an idea of what they do?
The ballot says counselor. It means governor's council, and this is a small body of people established by the state constitution that appoints judicial nominees. So they're the ones responsible for the judges that the governor will approve. We have 4 people running for that position. You get to vote for 1. On the county level, most people are familiar with the district attorney, but the sheriff's position, I don't think too many people know, is an elected position. 2 people are running for that, an unenrolled person and our current incumbent. That's a county position responsible for running our county jails, people who stay in jail who haven't been convicted of a crime or whose sentence is under 2.5 years. That's a fairly large population, it's a large budget and a lot of responsibility, so it's worth looking into that position.
Okay, let's talk about question 1. So what I understand is that if you vote yes, you're saying you want alcoholic beverages to be sold sales tax free. And if you vote no, you'd like to continue to have alcoholic beverages subjected to the sales tax just like anything else that's subjected to the sales tax. Is that right?
That's right, Glenn. A no vote keeps things the way they are with a sales tax on alcohol like we have on other things in Massachusetts. What happened was we had a loophole in the law. That's since been closed, but the liquor and beverage industry fought back with this question. So a no vote keeps things the same, and a yes vote allows alcohol to go back to the exemption it used to have.
Okay, let's talk about question 2. Question 2 has to do with affordable housing. Now, there's a chapter of state law called 40B, which requires developers to include affordable housing in developments in the various towns in the Commonwealth. If you vote yes, it would repeal this and not require the affordable housing under that chapter any longer. If you vote no, it'll keep things the way they are. And I understand, Patti, that the League has taken a position on this question?
This is a very contentious question in the state right now. 40B is a law that's been changed over time and made a better law for the towns and communities. But it does allow developers to come into those towns. The League has taken a position of vote no on question 2, because this is the law that has created 80% of the affordable housing in the whole state of Massachusetts. And if we repeal this law, we could lose about 12,000 homes that are currently being developed for low and moderate income people. So the League of Women Voters, along with many others, encourages people to vote no on question 2 as a critical element to making housing affordable for folks who are low and moderate income.
Question 3 is pretty simple. It says that if you vote yes, it will reduce the sales tax rate to 3%. If you vote no, the sales tax stays at 6.25%. And of course, even though it's a binding referendum here in Massachusetts, the state legislature can change the sales tax itself anytime it wants to. Do you want to add anything to that, Patti?
The only part I would add on question 3 is that a yes vote cuts the sales tax by more than half. And even the Republican candidates, when I moderated debates, are not in favor of that. And all the gubernatorial candidates are opposed to this question. I think Arlington's aid would be cut by millions of dollars, according to the town manager's office, if question 3 passes. So I don't think it's a sensible alternative. Question 4 is just for Arlington. We currently have a restriction allowing only beer and wine to be sold in liquor stores. A yes vote would allow up to 3 licenses to create stores that would allow the sale of all alcoholic beverages.
So here's the actual language of question 5, which is only for the voters in the 23rd Middlesex District. So that eliminates the ones, in other words, you won't be voting on this if you're in precincts 2 and 4 down in East Arlington, or if you're in the few precincts in Arlington Heights, which are not in that district. And it goes, shall the state representative from this district be instructed to vote in favor of a non-binding resolution calling on the federal government to support the right of all people, including non-Jewish Palestinian citizens of Israel, to live free from laws that give more rights to people of one religion than another. And if you vote yes, that will be making that recommendation to our state representative. If you vote no, then it won't be making the recommendation.
If you need a ride to the polls, you can just go to the League of Women Voters of Arlington website, lwva.com, and there you'll see the information to make a phone call and get a ride on November 2nd. And if you want more information, you can Google Boston Voters Guide, and there's an excellent review of all of the candidates' positions and of all of the statewide questions. So Boston Voters Guide will lead you to more information.
Now, what if you moved or you're new in town, you're not sure where you're supposed to vote?
You should call the town clerk's office and make sure that you're on the voter rolls.
Okay, and the League website has some information as to the voting?
The League website has the information for that phone number.
Okay, and how about the precincts also? It shows
Absolutely, shows the maps and tells you exactly where to go vote.
So now hopefully you have all the information you need, or will be able to get it, to vote on Tuesday, November 2nd.